At its zenith, the Roman Empire stood as a beacon of power and civilization, a marvel of human achievement that has left an indelible mark on history. It stretched from the British Isles to the Euphrates River, encompassing a tapestry of cultures and languages, each contributing to the rich mosaic of Roman life. This vast domain enjoyed unprecedented peace and prosperity, known as Pax Romana. During this period, the empire thrived, with bustling markets, vibrant public spaces, and serene towns and villages. This era saw impressive feats of engineering, a flourishing legal system, and the spread of Roman culture and innovation. Aqueducts carried fresh water to cities, roads connected distant provinces, and Roman law laid the foundation for modern legal systems. Roman legions, renowned for their discipline and effectiveness, secured the empire's borders. These soldiers were the backbone of Rome's military might, ensuring stability and security across the vast territories. A sophisticated network of roads facilitated trade and communication, connecting the far-flung corners of the empire. These roads were the lifelines of Rome, enabling the movement of goods, people, and ideas. It was a golden age, a testament to Roman ingenuity and power. The grandeur of Rome is still evident today in its ruins and in the legacy it left behind, influencing countless generations and civilizations. However, beneath the surface of this flourishing empire, cracks began to appear. The 3rd century AD marked a period of intense turmoil and instability known as the Crisis of the 3rd Century. A combination of internal strife and external pressures threatened to unravel the empire's hard-won unity. Military coups became commonplace, with emperors rising and falling in quick succession. The empire's borders faced increasing pressure from barbarian tribes seeking to exploit the internal chaos. Economic instability, coupled with rampant inflation, further exacerbated the empire's woes. In a desperate attempt to salvage the crumbling empire, Emperor Diocletian implemented a radical solution, dividing the empire in two. In 286 AD, he established himself as Augustus of the East, ruling from Nicomedia. He appointed Maximian as Augustus of the West, ruling from Mediolanum, present-day Milan. This division, intended to streamline administration and improve defense, proved to be a fatal mistake. It formalized the growing cultural and political divide between the eastern and western halves of the empire. While intended as a temporary measure, this division would have far-reaching consequences, ultimately sealing the fate of the Western Roman Empire. Section 4. A house divided, east and west drift apart. The division of the Roman Empire in 395 AD marked a significant turning point in history. It created two distinct entities, each facing its own unique challenges and evolving in different directions. The Eastern Roman Empire, also known as the Byzantine Empire, and the Western Roman Empire began to drift apart, both politically and culturally. The Eastern Roman Empire, with its wealthy cities and established infrastructure, proved more resilient. Its capital, Constantinople, was strategically located and heavily fortified, making it a formidable center of power. The city's bustling markets and advanced infrastructure contributed to its economic stability and growth. Constantinople, its capital, became a center of trade and culture, further solidifying the East's position. The city was a melting pot of cultures, ideas, and religions, which fostered a rich and diverse society. Byzantine art and architecture flourished, leaving a lasting legacy that would influence the world for centuries. The Western Roman Empire, on the other hand, faced numerous challenges. Plagued by economic woes and constant barbarian incursions, it struggled to maintain its authority. The western provinces were less urbanized and more vulnerable to external threats, which further weakened their ability to defend against invasions. The once mighty legions, stretched thin and weakened by constant warfare, could no longer guarantee the security of the empire's vast borders. The Western Roman Empire's military resources were depleted, and its political structure was in disarray, leading to a gradual decline in power and influence. The division, meant to save the empire, had inadvertently hastened its demise. While the East thrived and evolved into a new cultural and political entity, the West crumbled under the weight of its own problems. The split of the Roman Empire remains one of history's most poignant examples of how division can lead to downfall. Section 5. The Western Empire crumbles, a case study in decline. The Western Roman Empire, weakened by internal strife and external pressures, finally succumbed to the weight of its own problems. The once mighty empire, which had stood as a beacon of civilization and power, found itself unable to cope with the myriad challenges it faced. Economic troubles, military defeats, and political corruption all played a role in its decline. In 476 AD, the last Roman emperor in the West, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed by the Germanic general Odoacer. This momentous event signaled the end of centuries of Roman rule in the West. Romulus Augustulus, a young and relatively insignificant ruler, became a symbol of the empire's final collapse. This event traditionally marks the fall of the Western Roman Empire. The deposition of Romulus Augustulus was not just the end of a reign, but the end of an era. It marked the transition from the ancient world to the medieval period, a time of great upheaval and transformation. The division of the empire had created a power vacuum in the West, allowing barbarian tribes to establish their own kingdoms within former Roman territories. These tribes, once considered outsiders and enemies of Rome, now carved out their own realms, forever changing the landscape of Europe. The once unified empire, a symbol of power and order, had fragmented into a patchwork of competing kingdoms. This fragmentation led to a period of instability and conflict, as various groups vied for control. The legacy of Rome lived on, but in a much altered form, as the foundations of modern Europe began to take shape. Section 6. Echoes of the past, the importance of unity. The fall of the Roman Empire serves as a stark reminder of the importance of unity